My name is Colin Carney. I made the rank of Gunner's Mate 3rd. I went in December 28th of '61 into the Navy. I went aboard ship after I bilged out of radar school the middle of September in 1962. And at that time, I was only aboard ship about 2 weeks, and we were in Long Beach. And one night I was on the pier sentry. I had an M1. I was on the 20 to 2400 pier sentry. About 10 o'clock that night, they called me aboard. They said, "We're securing the pier watch. Take your weapon down to the armory," which I did. And then they sounded what they called make preparations for getting underway. So I knew nothing about that. We hadn't done that before. We were tied up to the pier. So we singled up all lines, and basically they just told me to stay out of the way. It's dark, you're moving lines, equipment moving. So we unsecured from the pier, went out into Long Beach Harbor, anchored. They canceled all liberty, and we had, like I said, make preparation for getting underway. At 8 o'clock we took off because they secured the liberty. You had to be back to the ship at 8 o'clock. And we upped the hook and ran after 8 o'clock down to San Diego. The ones that didn't make it back to the ship, they had to get down to San Diego. We did 3 days around the clock loading, took on full battalion of Marines and all of their equipment. We didn't really know for sure what was going on, but there were 17 ships from the West Coast, went down to the Panama Canal, went through the canal, and that was the Cuban Missile Crisis. So we were down there. We didn't really know what was going on, and I didn't find out until 20 years later what really was going on. But it was a scary moment in the United States because it was close to missiles flying. But we weren't aware of that where we were at. We were down off of Villegas, Puerto Rico, and about the middle of December, they sent us back up to our home ports. So we went through the canal and back up, and we were back home by Christmas. But that was, we were involved with that. So, but like I said, there was only 17 West Coast ships that went through, but through the canal. But they emptied out the East Coast pretty much. There was a lot of ships down there. There was over 200, I think. I've seen a list, but I can't recall exactly. But yeah, that was, like I said, we didn't really, the world didn't know how serious it was at that time. You heard the highlights of the Khrushchev and Kennedy's talks, but